going on, guys? ChaseWins.com, Venture Sports Consulting, here for Sunday, which is kind of a rarity. Don't typically do a lot of free play videos on Sundays most of the time, but wanted to give you a free play number one. We'll do the recap that we can do because it's just shortly after 9 o'clock on Saturday night. But as most of my clients know, pulled an all-nighter last night, was knee-deep in games, had all of my MLB games, all the write-ups done and everything, and sent them out about 5 a.m. this morning. So just started working on today's games, early yesterday evening as games were still going on, and then did the free play video that I posted, and it took almost 2 hours for that thing to upload. And then while I was doing that, I just got completely, just 100% tunnel vision. And then before I knew it, everything was all but done except for write-ups. So I went ahead and finished them and got those sent out right before I posted the video early this morning. So being that we do have a big day ahead of us on Sunday, I am going to try to catch some sleep here in just a couple of hours. Still got a little bit of work to do on a couple of games, but we'll get you on a free play. Tell you what we've got going on for Sunday, and then whatever we can't recap, obviously, we'll do on Monday. We'll just kind of backtrack a little bit. So as of right now, we've got 2 games left to go, and we've got 2 games going on. There was 3 MLB games total today, one of which is completed, one is ongoing, and one starts in about 10 minutes. And then we have an NHL game that is still ongoing that started about an hour ago. So right now, the only thing that we can really recap, and there's not really much need to do a recap because it was the free play on Saturday, was the Cleveland Indians. Had the Cleveland Indians, that was the free play, but it was also the top play of the day. So, again, I don't say that it's the top play on video because that wouldn't be right to the people that actually pay to get a paid subscription, but every so often I'll throw out a top play for free. So, but if you go back and you watch the video, and you can go and look, if you didn't watch the game today, it was an MLB Network game today. So, I was, again, like most of them, win or lose. There are games that I lose, obviously, but most of the time I'm still pretty spot on. And like I said, I said that the White Sox would probably be on their 4th pitcher before Plesac even got pulled out of the game, and they went through 4. Had a really good young man go in and make his debut and get out of the inning unscathed, so I was proud of him. But I said it would be a rout. It was a rout. The Indians took care of business. So, again, that's only the 2nd MLB top play that we've released this season so far. We had one Friday night and then obviously one today, winning both of them. So 2-0 in MLB top plays this year. So cruising right along. And like I said, the games that we are, that we still have that either haven't started or are playing and still have a decent ways to go, on Monday's free play video, we'll backtrack, go over those. Or for Tuesday, there may be a chance I don't do a free play video on Monday. It's really all going to depend on whether or not a meeting that I'm supposed to have Monday morning actually happens. And I'll know more about that tomorrow night. But in the event that we don't do a free play video, I'll do a free play on Twitter, and then we'll recap everything on Tuesday. So just kind of like we did earlier in the week, where we had an Angels game that had just started about the time that I did the video, and so we weren't able to recap it. We recapped it the next day. So we will get into that. But really nothing overly spectacular going on at the website as far as, promos or anything like that. What I am going to offer people is, because I have been getting a lot of questions about month passes. People are wanting to, and it's especially people that are new, that, or this is their first year doing anything with my company or anything like that. So they, bought a couple of 1-week passes or a couple of 3-day passes or something like that. They like what they see. They want to get on something longer term, but they don't know if they should wait, if there will be a promo run. The month passes aren't something that I do discounts on very often because they are, they're pretty cheap. As far as the industry goes, if you look at the industry average of what people that offer month-long packages charge, ours is in the bottom of, price-wise. And plus, for what you get for that month, there's just really no reason to discount that for as little as we charge. But every so often we do something. So what I'm going to do to, and I'll offer it to everybody, not just those people, I'm going to do a 10% off coupon. And I tell you what, let's do 15% off. We'll do 15% off, and what the month pass includes is all sports. So you'll be getting NBA, NHL, of course MLB, any horse racing that we have over the course of that month. And the only thing it doesn't include sports-wise is NASCAR. NASCAR is completely separate. That's its own entity because that is Patrick's. The only thing that includes NASCAR is if you are on a all-access pass, the one-year all-access. So that's the only thing, and it does not include any games of the week, month, or year. Now, again, those are fairly few and far between. That's not something that happens all the time. I haven't released any of those since late February. Now, again, we didn't have American sports there for a while, but even we've been back for a few weeks now, and I still haven't had a game of the week. Something really, really has to stand out to have one of those, and if something doesn't meet the very strict criteria, I don't release one. But again, those are only for the all-access members. If you are not on an all-access pass, that's something that you would have to purchase separately on, whenever I had one. But you'll get all sports, all premium, and daily top plays. So just like the last 2 days where we've had MLB top plays, you would get those included. It's usually $3.99 for the month, but you can get it 15% off on Sunday. That'll run from, as soon as Sunday begins at midnight on Saturday night, it'll run till midnight on Sunday night. Now, that is Eastern time, so it's already programmed in. I'm going to go in and change it from 10% to 15%, though, to give you guys a little more incentive. And all you'll have to do is when you log into the site, obviously, if you have an account, you already know how to make a purchase. If you do not have one, you'll just go in and create an account, which is basically just putting in your name, what email you want the notifications to come to, letting you know that plays are ready each day, and basic information. You will go to the purchase page, click on the 1 month pass. It'll say $3.99, but then once you get to the payment page where you would enter your credit card information, you'll see a spot that says coupon code. Just enter the word KING, K-I-N-G. All lowercase letters, no capital letters, anything like that. And then when you click to go forward to process that payment, you will see where it gives you, where it takes off 15% of that initial $3.99 cost. So there you go. Little fun for you there. NASCAR, obviously there was a doubleheader at Michigan this weekend. Patrick, when there is a doubleheader, usually never plays the first race. Now, again, that never happens. That's only this year, but this is now the third or fourth time there have been a doubleheader back-to-back days at the same track. And each one of those times he is laid off of the Saturday race and played the Sunday race. And no different this weekend. So we did not play anything on Saturday NASCAR-wise, but there will be a full slate of racing for Sunday. The race goes at 4:30 Eastern time. The card should be up probably somewhere between 1:30 and 2 o'clock Eastern time. Him and I have a conference call at 11 a.m. to kind of finalize everything. Then I'll double check his lines. We'll go ahead and get our wagers in. I'll get everything typed up for him and we'll get it posted. So race card is $40. That gets you the whole day. If there is a top play, that includes that as well. And there is a profit guarantee. So if there is not profit turned, you will get the next race absolutely free. Or you can buy the NASCAR season for $250. Now, again, that ends tomorrow, I'm assuming at midnight, because I don't believe I set it up any other way. So that's pretty much all we got going on. There also should be some horse racing going on throughout Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening, and there should be a night race as long as weather permitting that we will have. But other than that, let's get on a free play. Let me double check a couple of lines here, because there was some line movement going on a couple of minutes ago. And there's some games that I'm really, really interested in watching. Sucks. Cubs and Cardinals were supposed to get Sunday Night Baseball, and of course, because the Cardinals have COVID, they postponed it. So it will be the White Sox and the Indians again for Sunday Night Baseball tomorrow. But it'll be a good game. Shane Bieber and Lucas Giolito So that'll be a good game. Free play. I tell you what, there was two of them that I'm looking at, but we're going to go with this one because I think there's a little bit of an overreaction going on here. So the Giants and the Dodgers, 4:10 p.m. Eastern time. The Dodgers are putting Walker Buehler on the mound. Kevin Gossman's going in for the Giants. Now, the thing is, I mean, it's a high money line. I mean, it's like 290 at William Hill. Run line is minus 140. Again, laying a run line, even though 140 isn't, a lot of juice to lay, I don't like going 140 when I'm having to lay a run and a half. It's just a little steep. But that's not to say that I won't do it. It just has to be the right game. The reason that I think that, because truth be told, with a 290 money line, the line on the run line should be 180, 185, truth be told. And I could see this thing getting over 300 pretty easily, but the reason that I think that the run line is as low as it is, as far as what the juice is I think that it's an overreaction of Bueller struggling in the early going. So if any of the odds makers paid attention to what he did in spring training and then followed up and did in summer camp, he struggled. Last time he went up to pitch, I talked about the same thing, how he struggled, how he was kind of behind the eight ball versus previous years, and he just really looked like he was struggling. He was struggling with velocity, he was really struggling with command, and he was struggling with overall stamina as to how far he could go, in one outing. So in what he's pitched so far in actual games in 2020, he's, by Walker Buehler standard, he has done very, very poorly, truth be told. I mean, most people are just going to look at the ERA. That's all they ever want to look at, and that's all they ever consider, and that is what they base whether or not a pitcher is good or bad off of. Not how they got the ERA, who they've played, how many innings, how many strikeouts versus walks versus have they hit anybody, how many home runs have they given up. There's just so many dynamics that go into a pitcher and what can make up an ERA, where that ERA it can fool you. I'll put it that way. Because right now he's got a 5.19 ERA. People want to talk about, when he's pitched. He doesn't have a win or a loss yet. It was a no decision. And he most certainly had command issues. More command issues than any Dodger in 2020. And truth be told, one of the more obvious command issues in baseball right now. Especially when you're talking about a true starter that everyone knows that, he's kind of got that star presence around and people pay attention when he pitches. But don't let the 5.19 ERA fool you. Now, what you do need to pay attention to is the fact that he only has 6 strikeouts. That can make somebody kind of wearisome. But, again, it's all because of command issues. He's been skating by on raw talent alone. That should speak volume to you. The fact that he has given up 4 homers in the maybe 9 innings he's pitched. I think it was 8 1/3. Whatever it is, 8 innings, 9 innings, whatever, he's given up 4 home runs. Now, if you compare that to 2019, where he averaged 1 home run per 9 innings, then this year he's already worlds behind what he was last year. But with the 4 home runs, with only getting 6 strikeouts, with having an ERA above 5, it really hasn't been pure turmoil for him. Again, he's been skating by raw talent alone, which speaks volume to how much talent this kid has. Again, if he doesn't fix the command issues, Dave Roberts will have him out of the starting rotation, and he will be into some sort of a relief role, or they may throw him in on bullpen days as a starter, hoping that he can gather some command and velocity just to go a couple of innings before they turn it over to the pen. I don't wish that on him. I don't think it'll happen. I think he'll get back to normal. Now, Kevin Gossman, he has 1 decision on the year, and it was a loss. He's got an ERA just above Walker's at like 5.3 or 5.4, something like that. But he has 17 strikeouts. So his command has been much better. His velocity hasn't really been there, but it never really was there. let's see, he's played the Dodgers 3 times in his career. I think it's 3 times. I'm trying to think if it was actual starts. I know he's started at least twice. We're going to go with 3 because I think that's what it is. He's got an ERA just above 6 in his career against LA. And I'm still thinking that one of those games wasn't a start. It was where he came in a relief role. I know he's got 2 starts for sure, though. Again, it's kind of irrelevant. But he has never won against the Dodgers. He has an ERA above 6 against them. He doesn't have a good strikeout ratio, and he has given up home runs against them. He pitched okay, against the Rockies. Problem is, I just don't consider Coors Field to be real baseball. I've said that a million times. I mean, he gave up 3 or 4 runs over 5 or 6 innings. So, I mean, not terrible considering, 11-year-olds could probably hit home runs out of that park with the elevation. But what's going to happen is Buehler gets run support. You're going to throw in Gausman. He has good command, but he doesn't have a lot of velocity. When somebody makes contact with him, they can hit him and hit him hard, which means I think that the Dodgers will be able to blow them wide open. And because of that, with that run support, that gives Walker not only some room for error, but it also gives him a relaxed feeling. And if they were to have to turn it over to the pen early, which may very well be the case, not only do I think the pen can handle it, but I think that they'll just have to sustain. Again, kind of that room for error. And I think that this is an overreaction because of how quote-unquote poorly Buehler is done by the standards that they put him up to. I think that's why we're able to take this run line at $1.40 when, in my opinion, should be 30 to 40 cents higher. And it may very well be by the time this game goes in, almost 24 hours. But right now, I just don't see how the Giants are going to be able to do a lot against Buehler, as far as really, really power hitting against him. I don't think they'll be able to do much against the LA bullpen. I think they've proven that time and time again, not just this year when they played them, but over the past 3 or 4 years. And I really don't think that Gausman is going to be able to get out without getting hurt. And where the bullpen is now, again, last year and even the year before, people were amazed when I said San Francisco has the best bullpen in the National League, one of the best in baseball. They're like, no, they don't. They don't win games. And then when they actually go look at the stats, they would say, oh, no shit, they really do. This is not the bullpen of 2019 or 2018 or 2017. What they were in years past, they're not even half that. So I think Gausman gets rocked. Whoever takes over with him, because they are literally in the last arms of their pen right now before it turns back over, and they're not going to stretch the front of that bullpen rotation again because that would really hurt them going into next week. I think that LA is going to be able to blow this thing wide open fairly early, giving Walker room for error, giving the bullpen room for error, and I just don't think San Francisco will be able to catch back up. That's the way I'm looking at this game. So I'm going to take LA. Premium play on the run line, minus $1.40. Get it, sooner rather than later. Don't wait till game time because, honestly, just the name Walker Buehler, whether he's doing good, whether he's doing bad, whatever, it's going to bring money. A lot of degenerate gambling money because people just want to blindly back the Dodgers or blindly back a name that they know. So keep that in mind. I think this line goes up. You want to pay as little as you can. And right now, as much as I don't like laying $1.40 and having to lay a run and a half, I think it's kind of a gift, and I think there's value there. So we're going to take the Dodgers minus 1.5 at minus 140. That is your free play. Let's have a big, big Sunday, guys. Let's close the week strong. And then just like last week, started out Sunday, sweep day, Monday, sweep, Tuesday, sweep. We'll start it all over again. I love you guys, and I will see you back for Monday. Thanks.